Hey, how y'all doing, man? I'm back again with another episode of The It Factor. As always, I'm your host, Jeremy Robinson. Today we have somebody special. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
I'm your favorite worker, Wynn, Devante Wynn. Blessed honor to be here, bro. I appreciate the opportunity.
So, anytime, brother. Anytime, man. So first off, man, how you doing, man? How your year been so far? With it flying by?
It has been flying by, and it's crazy. What we in March already?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I shouldn't have time spent that, I guess, but nevertheless, I'm blessed, bro. It's been great this year. I challenged myself to be more selfish with my time, my effort, my energy, my everything. I can actually see some of the work paying off, some of the reaping some of the seeds I've sown, so to speak. What about you?
I've been good, man. Just taking my time, planning for this wedding, taking my time for the show, just getting new people on like yourself, and also just pivoting in work, man, trying to figure out some new stuff, figure out what I want to do, and I'm trying to finish up this master's, man. So
Masters,
when I'm done with that, bro, I'm gonna be chilling.
I love when young brother get educated,
yes,
man. What you pursuing?
So getting a master's in education, bro, so I can be a college professor.
That's what's up, bro.
Chilling.
I'm getting money in teaching right now, bro. So we educating young black minds.
Right.
That's all right.
Got to, man. So with that, bro, tell me about Do Work, and what it stands for the people.
Yes, sir. Do Work Impact Group is a community organization. We promote education, encouragement, empowerment in the minority community. We really focus on those 3 E's. Education, we feel like it's a big piece, whether it be financial literacy workshops, whether it be back to school drives, making sure the kids have what they need to go to school and to be successful in the classroom, things of that nature. As far as empowerment, it could be anything from our speeches to our drives and our charitable contributions, things like that. But we just want to make sure that the community and the people who look like us have equitable opportunities. So that's the big thing for us. Just providing resources, or providing platforms, or just providing knowledge that, hey, this is where you can go find to provide those equitable opportunities. But that's our goal in a nutshell. That's what we try to do, and we focus on those 3 E's through different initiatives and events throughout the year.
Got you, bro. So, like, how was it created? Was it created by you?
Yes and no.
Okay.
I created the logo as a part of a class project, like marketing project in like junior year of college. And I just sat on it. It was on my computer laptop for years. It was my phone, a wallpaper for years. And all my friends, all my buddies, like, bro, you need to do something with it. Like, when I see that, I'm gonna go do something. Like, you need to do something with it. So at first, I just put on a T-shirt, just see if I can move it, see if it would be appealing to people. Then from there, all those guys, those 6 guys who were encouraging me to do something with it and pushed me to do something with it, I just called them to dinner one night. I was like, look, I'm putting my faith in y'all because y'all got faith in me.
Right.
Like, I'm borrowing your faith and your confidence right now to like what we're gonna do with this, and we kind of kicked some ideas around, and we really didn't know what we wanted to do. We knew that we wanted to do work, and we know what kind of work we wanted to do. We know we wanted to make an impact, and we know we wanted to do it as a group. So that's how the name came about, and the actions that took place after the name, and just kind of ideas that we kicked around. We know we want to do something for back to school because we're students. We know we wanted to do something for kids getting ready to go to college because we were fresh out of college, and as aspiring entrepreneurs, we wanted to focus heavy on black business. So that's kind of how we got started.
That's what's up, bro. So like in that, I'm gonna say that's the same way with the It Factor, bro. Like one of my homies from college drew it out, and I like sat on it as well. And then one day my homie was like, I think I'm gonna do a podcast, bro.
Really?
And he's an editor, he's a videographer, like he's amazing at what he do. And he like, all right, you do the content, bro. I'm gonna edit it. We good. And from then on, I've been doing it, bro. Almost at 100-something episodes now. Like,
that's a blessing, bro. 100.
So,
Anytime you get to 100 or something, that's an accomplishment, bro. That's
That's
big.
Thank you, man. Thank you, man. So in that, I'm gonna say, man, how is it being a teacher and also being a football coach with being a teacher, man?
It's interesting. It's interesting. And being in the classroom, bro, you realize that even though they have those titles, a lot of people don't do both. I know a lot of teachers who just collecting coaching checks, who's just out there, they ain't trying to coach those kids. But I know even more so, and probably it's more likely to be in this way, in this capacity, but a lot of coaches who don't teach.
Yeah.
They're just in the classroom, tossing work in front of kids, don't grade it, really don't give any effort. So my goal coming in was that I want to be a teacher who coaches. I wanted to be taken serious as an educator. As a young black male coming in and teaching history at that time, in the middle of the whole CRT pandemic, civil rights stuff that was going on, it was interesting, and I wanted to be sure that I was respected as a teacher, number one, before I was respected as a coach. But I love it. I love it, man. I can honestly tell you that it's the hardest thing I've ever done. but also the most rewarding.
That's what's up, bro. So in that too, though, like, and I didn't even think about this when I was doing the questions, but you know, with my fiance being a teacher, she tells me a lot of topics, different things that's going on. So tell me how you feel about, you know, them wanting to take out, you know, Black history or our history out of school and as a whole, even though it's not really in there, you know.
Yeah, I think it's two sides to it. I think as a Black man, obviously, how you gonna erase American history, not Black history? How you erase American history? Because if you eliminate that portion of it, you're eliminating a huge portion of just who America is at its fabric, at its core. And how can you teach American history in general when racism, diversity issues, and just social issues in its full capacity are woven into our fabric of our Constitution.
Yes, sir.
Right, so how can you eliminate that without eliminating the Constitution?
Right.
On the flip side of that, to the victor goes the spoils. Everybody who's ever won the war has had the chance to write the history books.
Yes,
so a lot of stuff we've been learning isn't correct anyway. A lot of stuff we've been taught and been preaching ain't accurate anyway. So will it really matter what we teach in the classroom?
Right.
The deal as a history teacher is to just provide the facts, provide the evidence. I don't put no opinion on it. Good or bad, it's on you to go decide.
Yes, sir.
But how can you look at that number and look how it's so disproportionate to their number and think that's fair?
I like that.
So that's my approach in the history classroom, and that's how I go about dealing with the craziness that is CRT and equitable education, this, that, and third. Because let's be real. How can education be equitable when education was never intended for everybody?
Right. You're right about that. You hit it right on the head with that.
It was never intended for everybody. Horace Mann had to get down because the minority community was learning so fast and putting themselves in position.
Right.
So Horace Mann was like, okay, wait, if the minority community can do it, let's put our poor white people in and do things that way.
Yes,
and then they started building and growing together. And public education is what we know it today, but like it was never meant to be equitable.
It wasn't.
So,
and that's with a lot of things outside of education as well. It's a lot of things. That's even when you go into the workforce and you look and you like, they getting a promotion, but I ain't getting it. Or this happened, or even you see it with athletes. You like, dang, why you think most quarterbacks are white? It plays into everything.
Perfect example.
It plays into everything.
Aaron Rodgers, COVID vaccine compared to Kyrie.
Yes, sir.
Look how those two get out, man. It kind of speaks for itself.
And most people try to back it up, and you see the announcer try to back it. Oh, that's football, that's basketball. I'm like, nah.
It's not.
It's not a difference. It's not a difference, man. So ain't that bad, man. What is your it factor, man? Why you do what you do?
Ooh, I do a lot, man. I think why I do what I do though is just my love for people, my passion, and my longing for community, my desire to make a difference. Like I always tell them, we're gonna be rich. We're gonna be rich, and we is gonna have a bag, and it's on the way. It's gonna keep growing. But I think now as I mature, I just mean rich more so in love and friendship, like in spirit and impact and abundance in that capacity. So I think that's why I do what I do, to just, when you've been through what you've been through and it shapes you in a certain capacity, I think that kind of writes your destiny and writes your journey for you. So I think that's kind of why I do what I do, and I think my passion for people is what keeps me going.
Gotcha. I like that, brother. And also, man, in there, I would say, I got on to you and knowing about you from seeing your videos.
Really?
You just impact people. And the thing that got me the most is just, you say, like, get up, you know, do this. Like, and you listen to an ET or something. But I seen you as a person like, this dude down the street from me, like, I can meet him, man. So how are you motivated to do that, you know?
Man, honestly, at first, when I got on there as a challenge. One of my buddies who helped me start do our impact group was like, bro, you need to go in there and just start. The game that you get bust, like in the circle when you pissed off and you upset that we ain't handling our business, like you need to give the world that. Like somebody else besides us seven need to hear that from you. So when I first got on there, I did and it sucked. But I saw the reactions that, okay, number one, Devante, you said it on camera. Now you gotta stand on that, because people gonna hold you accountable and waiting for you to fail or fold and be something that you're not. They looking for you to be a hypocrite.
Right.
So they held myself accountable. Number two, I watched that small circle of friends that I initially did it for, and then my brothers and extended family that I did it for, I started seeing them be impacted. And for me, Jeremy, that was enough. I was holding myself accountable, and my people that in my close circle were being better, doing better, starting to achieve the things that I needed for them. Bro, to have people like you just tap in and invite me to shows like this and do things like this, and the other doors that is opening for me, it's just icing on the cake, bro. But that's kind of why I started and why I kept going. To motivate myself, hold myself accountable, and then my peers and my close circle, letting them know there's other ways we can communicate, there's other ways I can inspire you, there's other ways I can hold you accountable, other than just yelling at you all the time, man. So I appreciate you tapping in.
Yeah, man. And also, the only way to promote change, brother, is that you start with you.
Yeah.
You know, and the fact that you say you started with yourself, I think to the same way as me. I started this show, man, and seen so many friends. Now I got him editing and stuff where he really was like, I'm just gonna do a job, but he got something on the side to do now that pushes him to say, I'm gonna do a music video, I'm gonna do this. I'm like, yeah, get the bag, bro. Like, get it, because you're good at this. And other friends that I, like you said, I would love to bring your group of friends on, because I brought my guys on, bro. We talked about so many different topics, but it was so peaceful to see them speak and see how educated they are on everything.
Yes, sir.
Like, everything. So I definitely would love to do that.
And I would love for that to happen, because I honestly tell you, that's probably the most rewarding part about what I do from a motivational standpoint. Not only just seeing lives change and people coming to tell you, wow, hey, you impacted my life. But man, you can't put a price on that stuff. Like, you kill me now, I die happy, like, because you had that kind of impact. But so like you said, to see that you inspire the people that you with every day. I got somebody right now that he's entrepreneur mind, like business savvy, like the boy can get a bag in his sleep. He can sell sunshine in Florida, like he can go get it. Yes, but he for so long doubted himself until he saw me come out my comfort zone and push and kind of set the example, be the role model. Same thing for so many other guys in that group that they're doing so many great things now, and they say it's a testament to me pushing myself and setting an example. I think it's really a testament of ourselves, bro. They say Proverbs 17, a friend lives at all times, but a brother's born for adversity. I think all of us were put at Ron Hart together and had to go through that adversity to become a certain level of friend and establish a certain level of trust. Now I think we had to go through adversity trying to establish this business together to all take us individually to the next level. So man, I'm honored, bro.
So like I would say, for you being a community activist, if we want to say, we love that word now. You want to be that type of leader, man. What drives you to be it, and why is it important to have a community leader, and also how did that pivot into being like a mentor?
Everything that you see of me and in me right now was put there by somebody great. Whether it be my mother, my grandmother, the other 3 or 4 women who helped raise me, my dad, my uncles, the other male figures and coaches that I had in my life, or people who gave me opportunities when I probably didn't deserve it. So because of all those people, I want to be that for somebody. My ultimate goal in life, bro, whenever this thing is over, bro, is to live a life so impactful that they don't have to lie at my funeral.
Say that again.
Live a life so impactful that they won't have to lie at my funeral. They're going to get up there and say something, Jeremy.
Yes, sir.
And usually, most of the time, they say stuff that is going to appeal to your family. Make them feel good in their lost times, in their dark times, in their grieving moments. And a lot of times, you've been to funerals, even if it's for your uncle that you really didn't like, or a brother that you didn't really know, that they sat up there and they lied.
Yes.
You know, they saying stuff that ain't true. I want to be at my funeral when I'm looking down from heaven, and they saying all those amazing things, that they all true. That impact was really felt. That if they can hold my funeral in my little church back in Carrollton, Georgia, I didn't do it right.
Gotcha.
I didn't do it right.
I respect that, brother. I respect that, man. Would you say, like, what is one of your ultimate life goals? Anyone. It can be ultimate.
I think from a business and entrepreneur standpoint, I would love to one day open a facility that would rival something of a magnet school or a boys and girls club, where your focus is on soft skills, building relationships, building those interpersonal skills, building those explaining the difference between growth and fixed mindset, things of that nature. So to help kids put that glue together, the experiences they have in life, the experiences they have in the classroom, what's that glue? I want to be that piece in the community. That's one of my goals from an entrepreneurial standpoint, from a personal standpoint, man. When the time is right, I just want to be a great father. I think from now being in the classroom every day and pouring into other people's kids and seeing so many things that these kids go through, and good and bad that they go through, I think it would be an honor to have a little Wynn running around one day, and just knowing that he got a father that he can respect, that he can look up to, that he can be proud of, or she could be proud of, I should say. Yes. But I think those are two just simple, without going too deep, goals where I'm very excited about.
That's cool, man. This pretty much like an open topic, bro. And you saying all those great things, man. I would definitely love like help you out with that, bro. Like I always think about you know, the it factor has a bigger like think tank of like I always think about kids first, you know, working with them when I was in college and just seeing the different things they experience, especially here in Atlanta. And it's like, you know, man, I get a lot of them play football and a lot of them when you first ask, oh, I want to be athlete, I want to be LeBron, I want to be this, and you like, that's cool and all. But like, what you do in the classroom right now? Like, what can you do right now in the classroom to get you to there? Yeah. And I want, like you said, it's cool to like want those things. And I'm never gonna shoot them down, but I want you to be able to balance both. And I feel like the Boys and Girl Club was cool when I was growing up, but I had to get to a point where I had to stop going because I had to choose to play football or my mom was gonna pay for Boys and Girl Club. Yes. And I chose football. Absolutely. But in doing that, of course, I had to do the schoolwork, all those things. My mom was the parent. Like, if you ain't doing good in school, you can't play football. You can't do this, and I always had to do it, right? So at the end of the day, you know, I remember getting a football scholarship and an academic scholarship, but I want to help get kids to that point too as well. Like as a side project, like, hey, you know, I want to help you be able to show why school is important versus this sport. Because school, educating yourself, always going to be here. Football is not for long. Basketball is not for long. But in the time of you doing it, I'm never going to shoot it down. I'm never going to be that person to do it.
And I think that's two things we got to do as good, Jamie. I think we got to be careful for two reasons. Number one, like you said, never shoot a kid's dream. You know, as adults, we often react off reality and respond off reality. Like, come on, boy, find something else. And you don't know, like, you might have just shot that kid down and he never, ever dreams of anything else ever again. And you set him so far behind and her so far behind that they really give up on life at an early age. But more than anything, I think as adults, but especially in the minority community, we got to stop asking kids what they want to be when they grow up.
Yes, you're right about that.
We gotta start asking what they want to be because we get answers like that. Oh, I want to be him. I want to be her. And they associate it with occupations. When you start asking kids what they want to do, oh, I want to be I want to save lives. I want to play ball. I want to go into nursing. Who do you want to be is completely different.
Yes, of course.
Like I want to do a whole lot of stuff. Like a whole lot of stuff, but I only want to be one solid individual who makes a whole lot of impact on a whole lot of lives and leave this place with nothing left to give. Like, that's it. Like that's what I want to be. And I think we got to start shaping our questions, especially to the youth, especially with those adolescents, really impressionable years between 11 and 17, where they're able to think and cognitively discern between what they want to do, who they want to be, and where they want to go, and start making sure they pin down the difference between you and what you do. Yeah. Even if that job left, even if that occupation was gone, even that hobby is no longer interesting to you, you would still be who.
Yeah, I respect that. I definitely respect that, man. So, do you have any questions for me?
Man, a lot actually. I'm glad you opened the
Thank you.
So, I know you was talking about, I actually want to jump back into what you just said about how you love to focus on the youth. This started as just Blacks in Tech, right?
Yeah, Blacks in Tech.
How have you ever thought about, or is there any plans for you to kind of pivot and focus this more on the youth, where it's more STEM related stuff for the kids?
So I feel like I have done that, man, in a way. I did it on a point of saying, yes, I focus on the youth, but I'm focused on young adults as well, and older people, like getting the whole branch, because I don't want to be scooted into that box. So that's why I moved away from just the STEM. Because a lot of kids are like, my mom at least was like, first off, before I got to kids, my mom was like, hey, you know more people than people that's in tech. Like, you know, you got friends, you got people that do this, you got people that play ball, you got people that, you know these people, so get in touch with them too. And my girl was like, hey, baby, you know, you can get this person on your show, you can do this. And I think once I was able to walk into a classroom just last week, the kids told me, like, I love your show because this is the first show I've seen that you got multiple people on here. And I'm able to look and say, all right, I like lawyers, but this is what they got to go through. Yeah. You know, and you're able to see, like, all right, man, like, that ain't what I want to do. Maybe I want to be a doctor. Or maybe I want to find a profession that I want to do, but I can ask Mr. Jeremy how I can do it. So that's what I open it up for kids. Like, I always let them know, like, you can text me, you can email me, and we will figure this thing out together. And I feel like a lot of people don't have that. A lot of people push out, like, oh, yeah, this is a show for everybody, but they don't give you a way to contact them and say, hey, look, I want to play football, but what's a coach that you know? I'm like, hey, man, I know Devante. He can help you out. You know, he out in Carrollton, but you can go train with him. I got friends that can do this. Yeah. Oh, how you got in touch with Ryan Clark? Hey, I can't give you information. But look, this is what I can do.
Yeah, I can leave.
You know. So that's what I think the best thing to do when it comes to this show.
I think that's real big, bro. That's going to be my next question. What kind of led to your pivot? Because if you watch the first kind of season and a half, it is heavy technology, and it was great. But it's nice to know that you pivoted so you could show kids just different layers and the depth of their opportunities, bro. Because that exposure, that's what you're doing here.
It's everything.
Exposure is everything. Kids don't know until they know.
You right. And I would say what opened me up to that, man, I would be lying to you if all I knew was football in Fort Valley, Georgia, where I'm from.
Okay.
I had 2 family members that went to the league, so of course growing up, at that age of 11, that's, like you said, it's very impressionable because you're like, they did it, so I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
All right, one of my cousins was doing it with me at the time. He was like, all right, man, I'm going to the league, bro, you next. And you hear all those things, it's like, well, I ain't as good as you. Or, well, I'm good, but I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
And you like, I never seen a show of something that I can see and look and say, oh, you know what? Well, Jeremy do that. He's an engineer. And he get to talk to all these people. Oh, that's something I can do. So I wanted to be a place where you can come in, you can listen to the episode or whatever, and you can get something from it more than just saying a person up here bragging about, oh, yeah, so I went to school here, I did this. And like when I seen the tech episodes, I was like, yeah, I love these people. Don't get me wrong. It was amazing. The It Factor is amazing when it comes to my tech people. But it was like, I don't want to just push that as the only thing you need to be doing.
Yeah.
Because there's so many things that our black people do.
True.
So that's why I created the show and made it open to everybody. Because I just know the network too strong, man, to be like, just tech people, this all we going to talk about, this all we good on. So.
With that lack of exposure we talked about and kind of why you do what you do with the It Factor, how did you end up finding and then studying engineering coming from Fort Valley, Georgia?
So that's actually, like you said, exposure, bro. I was in the STEM program in high school, and it was the first of its kind where they took you to NASA, they took you to Georgia Tech, went to Arkansas, the University of Auburn, Tuskegee, and you seen so many different universities, and I started seeing people that look like me.
Okay.
And I was like, I asked one guy, I said, hey man, how you doing? He's like, da da da, my name, da da da. And I was like, yeah, what do you do here, bro? You an athlete or something? He's like, nah, I'm a computer scientist. And I was like, huh, what's that? And once I learned what it was, I went home and researched, and I was like, I like computers.
Yeah.
I can do this. And that was my 11th grade year of high school, and I was like, I'm going to do that. Like, I'm going to learn about engineering the best I can, and I learned that Georgia Tech wasn't the only school you had to go to get that degree. So in doing that, once I got to Clark, I was like, I'm going to do the engineering program, because that guy did it, so I know I can do it. So getting away from Fort Valley and being able to go to Auburn and seeing that guy that did it literally was just that turning factor for me to say, oh, I can be a computer scientist. Oh, I'm an engineer too. Oh, okay, I'm a software engineer now. And it's like, okay, cool, let me get more people to do this, because a lot of people don't see that opening of it. So going there literally just sparked something in me. So the best thing I feel like for young people to do is to leave Fort Valley, Atlanta, or Carrollton and leave that place just for a little while. Come back. Once you come back, man, I promise you, especially when it comes to males, you come back, you're going to be like, oh, they was in Florida doing this.
Well, you feel like they start tithing, boy, you preaching. I tell people that all the time. I tell my kids that all the time. I ain't mean to cut you off, but
you good?
You have to leave home. Especially as a male. You have to leave home. Even if they ain't nothing but 6 months. Like, I don't care if you're going to school, I don't care if you're going to work, I don't care if you're going to the army, but you have to leave 6 months and go do some kind of training, some kind of self-discovery, and just leave the nest. There's something about going away from home and having to fend on for yourself. Even though, yeah, you can call mama, but the fact she can't come do it for you, it's something that you go through as a man that you need to do it. But about 6 months, at some point between 18 and 20, bro. So I'm so happy that you say that, bro.
Yes.
Oh, I'm so happy that you say that.
So in doing that, I came back, bro, and I walked away from football after that.
Really?
Yep. I never thought my mom, bro, I'll never forget. You would think it was a funeral. Because I told my brother-in-law, he was like, all right, Jay. Because us as men, we take stuff and it's like, all right, you sure? Because you good at it. You got a scholarship, bro, you know. And I'm like, yeah, but that ain't what I want to do. He's like, no, you're smart enough to go to any of those universities without football. But when I told my mom and my sister, you would thought somebody died. And I'm going to go talk to the coach. And this, so and so. And I'm like, I already did it. I'm good. And a week went by, and it was like, I'm glad that you're becoming a man.
Yeah.
Like you're an adult to make the decision to say, okay, well, if you're going to do that, I need all A's. I need you to graduate. Top of your class. And the top of the class for her was you're going to have a scholarship coming out of here academically. Because I ain't got the money.
You're playing football. And you don't do that. You know, find a way.
Right. So, yeah, man. That's literally the best thing I feel like all people could do, man. And a lot of people, a lot of young males, even my friends in my circle, they go away and they hate it. Oh, Atlanta was like this. And it's like, but you don't see what God's setting you up for.
Yeah.
He's taking you away to show you, hey, Jeremy, I got you. I went all the way to Boston because of engineering. And stayed up there, and sometimes I had good times or bad times, but me being the person I am now, it shaped my life in such a way of saying, dang, I'm more than that small town boy. Like, I'm a grown man now. I got a lot of experiences, and it opened my mind up to say, oh, I can move and go to Boston, and I will be fine.
Yes, sir.
Like, I'll be good.
Yes, sir.
So.
The mind is like an old pair of drawers.
Yes.
Once it's stretched, it can never go back. You feel me? And I like what you said, man, because I'm a firm believer that everything you go through shapes you. Mm-hmm. And that life is a direct result of how you handle its transactions on a daily. So the fact that you were able to make those big decisions, expose yourself to that stuff, handle the adversity that I'm sure you had to go through that even that you didn't speak about. That says a lot about where your focus is and your goals and how much you trust God.
Yes,
Commit to the process and you doing that work. Shameless plug right there. That's what's up. I got 2 more quick questions. Number one, what would you say your it factor was?
My it factor, man, I would say to help as many people as I can. I feel like my fraternity, man, Culture for Service and Service for Humanity. I've been living on that since I was a little boy. Like, just doing things outside the box. Like, hey, mama, I want to help them do this. And she tell me stories now, and I'm like, I used to do that. And that's the reason why I'm so open now. Like, oh, I can talk to people because I've been doing it since I was a little boy. Yeah. Or I may go somewhere with my fiance. We in the airport. I might strike up a talk with anybody. Just like, hey, how you doing? Da 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 da. It can be any color person. I just think that being able to help people and being able to talk to people is like one of my gifts, man. Like, literally. And that, I believe that's my it factor, bro. That's why I created the show. And it's been doing so well because of it. Yeah. Just knowing how to network, talk to people, man. And doing something that's bigger than me. Like, helping people out. Or it don't matter. At first I was focused on the numbers. Like, oh, man, I got to grow the channel. And I got to do this. But once you take that away, everything going to take care of itself. Like, as long as that person getting impacted by the show, that's what matters more. Like, I'm not more focused on that. Like, my first year, I was like, it gotta be this, and baby, it gotta be, and why they don't watch it? And now it's like, man, look, call me. You good? Oh, bro, you watched it? Okay, cool. All right, cool. Oh, a little homie that want to be a pilot because they watch my boy Justin? Oh, okay, cool. Like, let me get in touch with Justin. Yeah. That hits me more than, and I'm like, that's why I started it. Like, so I don't feel like it was given to me. I feel like it was a blessing that was given to me, and I feel like doing that Culture for Service, it all ties in. Okay. And sometimes I feel like I be rambling, but I be like, oh no, it makes sense.
It makes sense.
We good.
Yes, so I guess the same question you asked me, what's your ultimate goal, both I guess in life and for this platform?
Okay, so my ultimate goal in life first, bro, to be a family man. I grew up without a father, single parent home. I just wanted to be able to be the best me I can be for Jeremy first, and be the best me for Courtney. And that's my fiance, man. Being a family man, like being a father one day, need to be a daughter or a son. Like just being that and being in the home. Like that's my main thing when it comes to personal life. It's gonna make a big change of like how I do certain things and leaving this legacy of the it factor. So when my child, son or daughter, they 20 something, like, oh, you going to college or you doing what you doing? Well, you got a whole business now. You got to push it too. Put it out there. Interview friend if that's something you would like to do. I'm pretty sure it'll hide the apple fall. Like, hey, it's a business now. Figure it out. But when it comes to this show, I want it to be like Oprah, man. Like, it ain't got to be the whole people, but I want to be able to do live episodes from time to time. Yeah. I like bring on bigger name people and bring yourself on. Like, hey, meet them too, bro. Like this so I want you to connect with them because at the end of the day, I want people to know we all people in this.
Yes, sir.
We all trying to figure it out.
Yes, sir.
I don't care what your accolades is. He still or she still put her pants on one leg at a time.
Well, look, whenever you find Inky or E.T. or Willie Moe number, King House number, tell them I'll be here. I got the address. I'll be here. Y'all pull up. I'm waiting on y'all. Me and Jeremy already like
we
yes,
here.
Sir. Let them know to pull up, bro. That's dangerous. That's what's up. I guess anything it factor doing the next year or so that we should look for? Because I'm as a consumer, but I'm excited. You do some good stuff, man. You do create some great content that is educating and entertaining the masses. And like I said again, I really do appreciate you bringing me on. Anything we should look forward to?
We had merchandise on the side. Over there. Cool. It is what it is. That's happening. I would say I'm about to start a lecture series at the universities. Try to do them in the AEC. I'm trying to do that. I'm working on that with one of my friends. We actually trying to set it up. She like getting in touch with some people, so that's something big that's happening. And then another big thing that's happening is I'm writing this book, The Art of Networking.
Nice.
So, you know, when that comes out, definitely gonna have to bring you back on. I might
sir.
read some chapters, do different things, because that'll be my second book.
Really?
Yeah.
I missed your first one, man.
Yes, I already have a book, man. I wrote it back in college. It's called Black Man. I actually give you a copy of
Man,
it.
please.
But yeah, bro. That's pretty much that right there. But then I'm getting married, so we good. Getting married in September, so it's lit.
Soon and very soon. Peace and prosperity to you and your household, man. I wish you nothing but the best.
Thank you, brother.
Yes,
and with that, that's it.